Welcome back to Twin Flame Psychic 1111. I'm Karen. What are the current energies within your Twin Flame connection? How are they truly feeling about you right now? And what are the messages that Spirit has for you in regards to your union? Wow. The Nine of Water, which is the Nine of Cups. Look how beautiful this image is here. Peach, the peach tree. This instantly makes me think of Kung Fu Panda. And the peach tree, it represents like death and rebirth, but it's about reaching the higher dimensions as well. It's the natural unfolding of the universe, the natural cycles of the universe. But Nine of Cups, this is deep emotions. I feel as though your person is yearning for something so deep and so significant with you today, like emotionally. I'm imagining like the wind blowing and loads of these blossoms, these petals like blowing in the wind, the flow energy, again like connecting with the skies, connecting with the universe. So this is a very ethereal, very emotional sense that I'm getting from your person. Like they're really yearning, they're craving for significant intimacy with you today, closeness energetically. They're wanting that euphoria, the heavens to soak into their aura and to lift them up in like a quiet, peaceful ecstasy, like illuminating their inner world with a bright sunniness, like bright blue skies. And they're really desiring to be smiling throughout today in euphoria. Nine of Cups, this is so much deep emotional fulfillment. It is a joyful energy, and it is the dreams coming true. They're wanting this dreamy energy. They're thinking of you a lot today. A lot of desire. I keep wanting to say desire. So a lot of thoughts, magical thoughts, beautiful thoughts. This is like the purity of your hearts and your souls. Like you're very healing to each other because you both have these deep desires for embrace. It's not just desires, you're really feeling this at all times, but it's like the veil is thin. Some days the veil feels thinner than others, and today is one of those days, like the blissful energy and them just wanting to be lifted up in this blissful energy. They want to feel your essence like an ethereal whisper reaching them on that still state of their consciousness, their presence. They want to feel that true presence within themselves and with you there. This is all very magical, beautiful thoughts and feelings and healing that they experience with you, that you experience together, because all of this imagination, all of this activation, you know, the imagination to me is the movement, the flow of energy. It's the soul yearning for more deepness, more realness, and taking you both into that, taking you into that true presence beyond the veil, taking you into that embrace with each other. And the thoughts, the fantasies, they're all like really beautiful. You weave beauty and purity into each other, a holiness into each other, because in this world we're all conditioned subconsciously and in very overt ways as well. We're conditioned to feel a lot of shame about a lot of things, a lot of shame about our nature as well, a lot of shame about sexuality. Like it's very distorted. There's a lot of bombardment of distorted like sexuality in this world. So we absorb a lot of shame in lots of ways, not just to do with like sexuality, but in so many ways. But with each other, there's all of these beautiful thoughts, beautiful desires of the soul, like the yearning of the soul. And it's like a light energy, bright blue skies, a sunny energy, holiness, knowing. It's replacing the doubts of your worthiness, that shame basically. It's replacing that with that knowing that you are pure, that you're wonderful, that you are source energy. This is the euphoria I'm talking about. This is what you both envelop each other in. The inner worlds are so beautiful. There's magic in the air. You blossom, you bloom, you come to life. When we feel shame, we shrink. We want to hide away. We fall into a lower vibration. With each other, you rise, you open, you expand, because you know that you're loved by the divine. You're loved by God, so you're not afraid. You're not shying away. You're opening up to the divine. You're opening up to source and your spirit guides and yourselves and each other. I'm telling you, everything underpinning your bond is this pure love, is pure essence of who we really are. And they want to really feel this today. They want to rise up within this, where they are held within the vast infinite of the universe, opening up before them. They want to feel that invitation, welcoming them into the lightness. And everything's peachy, you know, a very just happy, joyous, peaceful, serene. They want to feel this serenity of feeling your souls holding each other, your souls perhaps making love, your souls in that beauty, in that purity, that your souls in resting together. They want to feel that liberation. They want to feel any weight removed from their shoulders. They want to surrender all of that. They want to rise and be totally free with you in this absolute purity of who you really are. The purity, the love, the truth that is beneath all things. The tree, it also reminds me of the Four of Cups, so a meditative state as well. They're really tuning into this. I'm telling you, the veil feels thinner today. And bliss is soaking in, seeping in to all aspects of their being. We have another 9, interesting, and it's apple, which to me is a very joyous, sweet, happy association feeling with apples. Okay, so 9 of earth, 9 of pentacles. Wow, this is like the grounding of all of this beauty, this magic, this wonderment. Grounding it, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling a wholesome energy. The 9 of earth, and especially it being the apple here, is a wholesome energy. Feeling today, there's really this feeling, and they're longing, their souls, both of your souls are longing for this. There's nourishment, you know, peaches, apples, fruit, nourishing. Obviously it's making me think of nourishing foods, whole foods, wholesomeness. There's a ripeness. There's I'm hearing the word succulent. Like a fullness, full of energy, full of vibrance, full of life, full of zest. That it's seeping out of you, overflowing out of you both. So much just happiness, like dreams coming true, like feeling like the luckiest people in the world to be experiencing such an incredible love, a romance of the soul that brings all of this fullness. It brings all of these nutrients, so to speak, to your life. It brings deep meaning. This is the fullness. That fullness is like that pleasurable fullness. Imagine eating a fairly large meal that's really, really satiates you. You have this comfortable fullness of very nourishing foods, and how you feel glowing, and how you feel like that serenity of the sweetness as well. Serotonin, there's a lot of like positive vibe kind of chemicals being released. Dopamine. But serotonin, it's like you can just relax. You feel grounded within that. And this is very much the magical feelings today. 9s. And these are both of the cards where the 9s are very, very positive. It's almost coming to the end of a cycle. And I'm seeing that as like, again, the fullness, the rightness, flow energy, receiving abundance. You've been receiving abundance. Nine of Pentacles, that is so much abundance. That is, it normally shows the person in their garden. They've cultivated this garden, they've created this, they've worked with the universe, you know, they've worked with the environmental conditions, they've created the right conditions, they've watered those plants and flowers, they've made sure that the soil is fertile, they've worked with the seasons, they've nourished, they've fed those plants and the vegetation. And here's the payoff. This is like a harvest kind of energy. The fullness is like a harvest, a blooming of all of this positivity, and it's really anchored within, or there's an opportunity, there's a gateway today where there's an amazing opportunity to really ground this lightness, this fullness, this high vibration. We have the Madra of Air, which is the Queen of Swords. I'm telling you, harvest. We have this scythe here, gathering the crops, you know, cutting down the crops, gathering the crops. And this feels wonderful. This is, imagine, you know, being in this field full of this motherwort. And there's bright blue skies. There's organic clouds, natural clouds, it looks in the sky, but the skies are blue. And I'm telling you, the veil is thin. I very much associate subconsciously the Queen of Swords with the High Priestess. That clear seeing, like that air energy, telepathic energy, a flow energy. Queen of Swords. So the veil is thin, I'm telling you. And imagine standing in these really tall crops here. There's this amazing shelter. This is wonderful, serene work. Very hard work, you know, harvesting the crops here, but there's this shelter today. There's this feeling of shelter, being held by these crops surrounding you. And I'm imagining like it being really sunny, but because you're amidst all of this motherwort, it is here, you're experiencing dappled like sunlight, diffused light, sparkling and shimmering amidst the leaves, shining through the leaves, the crops. And I imagine there's a gentle breeze, so there's a dappled sunlight, shimmering, sparkling, and warming the skin, like warming. This is how the energies feel between you both, okay? Warming your skin. I imagine you both close your eyes and you breathe in like the beautiful smells of the crops, the beautiful energies in the air, the cool breeze and the warmth. It's very comfortable energy, a very serene energy. I'm imagining hearing the gentle rustle of the breeze through the crops, and this is just really having a lot of gratitude is what I'm trying to get at. This is boiling down to you and your person having a lot of gratitude today. This is like breathing in deeply, breathing it in, soaking it in, grounding it in, having so much gratitude, being present, stopping, almost like the Seven of Pentacles as well, stopping and looking up and looking around and listening and feeling. It's stopping to be present in the present moment and really noticing everything that is really, really here for you both. And it's so deep, it's, you know, beyond the veil, having a lot of gratitude for things in the day-to-day life, but also very deeply soaking in and becoming aware of the divine's presence. So I'm seeing someone closing their eyes, soaking this all in, grounding it into themselves, feeling so happy, so joyous. And with their eyes closed, there's like this dappled light through the crops, and it's lighting up their inner world. It's lighting up their mind's eye, like they can see the light, the sunlight through their eyelids, their closed eyelids, and they're just glowing with happiness. Okay, this is what I'm really feeling. The veil is thin, there's a lot of telepathy between you today, and I'm just feeling this absolute surge all of a sudden of the euphoria, of the excitement, because with the veil being thin, it's like you very powerfully, consciously aware of each other's presence, each other's souls within you. You're aware of each other thinking of each other. They're thinking of you and you're aware of that in the moment. And you're thinking of them and they're aware of you thinking of them in that same moment. And feeling the rise of euphoria through all the chakras, like that kundalini rising. I'm feeling an immense surge of this. And you'd be both just soaking that in. When you stop and you pause throughout your day and you're so aware, you feel each other's presence, you breathe that in. You soak that in and it's like coming into your aura. It's filling up your auras with so much ecstasy, so much bliss. This is the amazing energies, the euphoria in the inner world, your inner worlds where you are one. I'm just hearing, you know, in my mind's ears, I'm just hearing like the buzzing of crickets, the buzzing of insects, the hum of the insects, the hum of the wildlife, the hum of the breeze. And it's the hum of the universe, a symphony of consciousness observing you. In that pause, you're very aware of the infinite, all things observing you, spirit observing you. And that they're there for you, always seeing you very clearly. This is also the Queen of Swords. You becoming clear, you becoming aware that the divine and all things encompassed, that is the divine, is observing you very clearly at all times, always there for you. And they're waiting for you both to suddenly become aware of their presence, the love and the support that they always offer you gladly. They feel joyous. Okay, I'm hearing from Spirit, they feel joyous in those moments where you both are in these moments of presence, and you become aware of them, because then you can receive their love more consciously, because they always want to provide you. They always are providing you with the love. They are the love. They're within you. They're all around you. They're in everything that you do. They know every thought, every feeling, everything. Not in a judgmental way. They never judge you. They're always there for you. And they're just so happy when you become consciously aware of them, because then they can love you as they always do, but you receive it more consciously, is what I'm trying to say. I've just noticed it's raining a tiny bit outside, so you know there's all of these sensations, like, even imagining like droplets, tiny droplets of rain. Imagine a warm day, you're in a t-shirt, you're comfortable, and there's in the warmth there's this gentle rain even at times as well, and it feels delicious, it feels euphoric, okay? Nurturing, nourishment you're receiving from the divine. Wow, now we have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Water, red clover. So there's a lot of pink here, pink energies. Pink to me is a soft, you know, this shade of pink here, pink and purple. Very soft, warm energy. Emotional energy, and obviously they're both cups. I'm telling you, to me the 10 of Cups always represents being beyond the veil. You know, you anchoring that into yourself, into your human form, but beyond the veil, the euphoria, knowing, consciously aware of being surrounded by the divine, by love. You are both so loved. It normally shows the divine masculine and the feminine and the two children, which could represent your inner children. And there's a harmony, a peace, a serenity. Again, it's even more like emotional fulfillment. The 9 and 10 of Cups. Wow. Normally shows the rainbow above them, which again is like all of the energy surging through your chakras, making you both feel absolutely incredible today. Let me just turn the heater off. 10 of Cups. Like I said, some sort of ending of a cycle, but it's harvest time. This is the end of the cycles of growth. And that, yeah, reward, I'm hearing, harvest time, fullness. The rainbow's shown here as well. An overflow. Soaking this in. Look, they're making a herbal tea with this red clover. So this is diffusing throughout your souls and the entirety of your being. This incredible energy, very, very holy energy. And your hearts are just soaring because there's just so much love, so much closeness, romance, which encompasses like a very spiritual, sexual energy as well. At the bottom of the deck, I'm noticing the world. I'm telling you, abundance, the ending of a cycle. This is the final card in the whole deck. So this is a wonderful celebration. You know, when you come to the end of something that you've worked very hard for, so much effort, so much accumulation, tending to the conditions, creating the right conditions. Out of interest, I am seeing that the High Priestess beneath this as well, to coincide with what I was saying. But, you know, when so much time, energy, effort, love, conscientiousness and joy has been put into something, and you come to the end of it, and there's an immense celebration, there's a a time where you take to really look back and see how far you've come, see all the things that were achieved, see the struggles that you've overcome, the mistakes you made that helped you grow. It's that kind of energy, okay? The world. And I always see the world as you've risen up above the world. You're in the higher dimensions, observing. The veil is thin, I'm hearing and seeing, like, especially with the High Priestess. Now is an opportunity where you can see things clearly. So if something was like an issue, if you've been working through some sort of issues, there's some sort of clarity, there's some sort of conclusion, some sort of answer comes in, or organically is just here now. The resolution could just be here now as the outcome of all of the work. So this can represent a whole load of different things for different people, but this is the kind of energy, like a wholeness in terms of what you've learned as well. Very positive, very, very positive energies, grounding in clarity, overcoming some sort of internal struggles. So let's look at some oracle cards. Let's look at these ones first. What does Spirit need you to know right now? What is really going on in your union? Yeah, I'm telling you, soaking it in. You're very, very much being called to actively take some time for stillness or meditation and soak this in. All of this light. The veil is thin. You're able to receive it very powerfully today and over the next few days. I feel it's going to be very transformative, with the butterfly here as well. The butterfly. I'm seeing it as like the hemispheres of your brain being in sync as well, which allows for that coherence, that flow and balance. It makes you feel more balanced, more stable. You can see clearly. You're in alignment with your soul. You're able to be practical with the Nine of Pentacles, a practical expression, choosing practical means or ways in which to be your truth, be this spirituality. Practical solutions could come in. But this is the serenity, this is soaking in. All of this peace. It just said 2811 when I looked at the phone then. So 2s, 8s, 11s, all to me represent very, very spiritual numbers. 2s are partnerships, 8 is the infinite bond, the flow between you both, the flow, the syncing of the hemispheres of your brain. I want to research more into that actually. And 11, again, it's like partnership. 11 is a gateway that you're moving through into the divine. The gateway's open, the heavenly realms are open. Like I said, this peach tree with all the blossom, it just reminds me of Kung Fu Panda and his spiritual master. When he dies, it's like his soul lives on. And at one point in the movie, all of the petals, blossom petals, they like illuminate and they swirl and they surround and they hold like his spirit, his soul in the air as he communicates with Po the panda. So this is communication. Immense communication is coming in, is trying to come in. For some, this could be a message to try and actively, consciously take time for stillness. Because this love, this outpouring of love, and is coming from the divine. And they want to hold you within that, within the light, the love. They want to ease you. They want you to feel at ease as much as possible. They want to calm your nervous system. This one wants to come out. Golden path. I'm telling you, this path, the number 11, which I just spoke about, is like that opening. There's a parting in these crops. I'm seeing these as like the crops again. As you're clearly seeing some sort of path forwards with the scythe. It's like you're cutting down the crops to create a path, movement through. Perhaps there was a time you couldn't see clearly because you're in these crops, you're amidst these really tall crops, so you couldn't see the higher perspective. But then we have the world, so something that you were unclear of or couldn't see clearly, some sort of clarity is going to come in over the next few days. You've cleared the path, you've cleared the way for this golden energy. Again, to me, this is source energy, the sun. You know, I was talking about like the dappled light. There's all of these leaves, all of the crops. They're really tall, but it's really sunny. So you're getting a mixture of shadow and light, the dappled, diffused light, sparkling and shimmering. To me, again, with the duality, that, you know, I was talking about the two sides of the brain. It's like the yin and the yang. Some sort of message about you are seeing the shadows and the light. But there's a time today or over the next few days, there's going to be a time where of relief, I feel. There's going to be a breaking through the shadows. So powerful light, powerful healing, powerful love. I'm telling you, your person is really yearning for this, like their soul is yearning for this. Something so deep, something so real and significant to soak in. They're wanting to soak in. And you will both be like experiencing this. And the closeness, like the absolute euphoria of the love and the desire and the passion. It's just going to uplift you. This is a great avenue through which the divine is going to lift you, uplift you into serenity. And there's all of these light codes coming in, soaking them in, grounding them to become a higher vibration, to become more peaceful perhaps, more hopeful perhaps. And to just feel so close, a deepening of your bond, a deepening of your union, and feeling so close, feeling that they're right there for you, and vice versa, feeling supported by each other and the divine, spirit guides. Yeah, I'm telling you, to confirm the gateway. Wow, this is so powerful. Like, you're being led down this path to the gateway to, this could represent a new timeline or just a new beginning. It would be more grounded or grounding in more of the light, more of the optimism, more of the peace and serenity. Sorrow. So yeah, this is a powerful message in today's reading. Eternal flame, the open heart, the heart reconnecting with the heart, sinking back into the heart through stillness is going to be the most powerful way to set your soul alight with this love and this passion and this uplifting energy to soothe. They're wanting to soothe someone's sorrow here. They're really coming through powerfully. This message is all about Spirit saying that they're there for you. They're there for your person as well. And they want to hold you. They want to lift you up. They want you to be more consciously aware of the safe sanctuary. An invitation saying, this garden of delights, the inner world, the safe sanctuary, the consciousness, their presence, your twin flame's presence is always there for you whenever you need it, whenever you need to be held. I'm seeing and feeling like sometimes when we have a lot of tears, sometimes when we cry, like we sob, and it's like it's wringing out the pain. It's somewhat, sometimes the pain is so great that just crying, even if you're crying so hard, it's still not strong enough to wring it all out, that kind of energy. But through crying, when you're really sobbing, when your body's like convulsing, or whatever, that's not the right word, but when you're like sobbing really hard, it's like that's connecting you with your soul. That is a gateway as well. Sometimes crying really hard is like a gateway, and where you feel the purity of the core of your being amidst really powerful crying, heavy like crying. And that's the body's, there's some sort of message like that's the body's way, one of the ways in which the body connects with the infinite, the inner self, very profoundly, the inner child, the purity at the core of your being. This is like when you cry, it's like your body's crying out to reconnect with that purity at the core of your being. Sometimes, quite often, crying feels like that relief, or somewhat it can do. Crying can be bittersweet. The sweetness is you're connecting with Source. You're connecting with the core of your being. You're connecting with Spirit as well in those moments. What is really going on? What do you really need to know from Spirit? Traveling lightly, simplify your life this way. I'm telling you, the path has become clearer. Something's been burdening someone, some sort of heaviness, some fears, some worries. And I'm not implying that everything is going to be released, but you may experience moments where it feels like that's all just gone, even if it's temporarily. You're lifted up into the eternal flame, the love beneath all things or within all things at the core. Traveling lightly. Yeah, there's some sort of release of some sort of mental anguish. I feel it's more mentally. Letting go of things. Someone could really be going into a powerful meditative state, consciously trying to release heaviness, anxiety, trying to heal sorrow. And it's purging, okay? Could be purging it. Could be through literal tears. as well as other ways. Energetically, you're purging it, you're releasing something so that you're traveling much more lightly. This is what I'm feeling, like a breakthrough of lightness and joy and euphoria. Simplify your life. There could be a message here about really tuning in. Simplify your life. So much more easier said than done at times, but this is about tuning into your intuition. What is draining you that's unnecessary? What can you let go of or do slightly differently? Because it's too draining. It's taking too much of your resources, energy resources. It's adding to the pile of anxieties and stress. What's adding to your stress that can be removed or switched up a bit to make things flow easier or make your life easier? Or, you know, releasing some of the stress. That could be a message for someone to try and take some time to look into that, because it will make a world of difference, I'm hearing. Voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you. So again, wow, I'm just feeling so powerfully. Like today and over the next few days, connecting so powerfully with the heart space, voyage of the heart. It allows the flow, the journey to be much more flowing, simpler, moving faster, makes the journey more pleasurable. Voyage of the heart. I'm telling you, this is looking at, observing, becoming aware of the magic that's in the air. The magic of the universe and being in wonderment. Love. This is the infinity. Love flows through you and to you. So this is making me think of a card I saw in a completely different deck, in a completely different context, in another reading the other day. It was a card called Kisses, and it showed the person blowing kisses and, you know, like love hearts. So again, this is a message of you sending each other love from afar. Love flows through you and to you, and you both receiving that love from afar, in quotation marks, from each other, because there is no separation. You are within each other. You feel each other's consciousness right there with you, like their mind, their heart, their emotions, and their soul. The soul is within you. You are one soul, but other layers of consciousness you feel like right there with you. What's really going on? Yeah, look, wow, in the flow. Everything is smooth sailing. A time of sitting back. It's safe to surrender. It's safe to allow the universe to take the reins of control. By that I mean it's safe to surrender to the universe and allow the universe to unfold. Allow your path to unfold. Allow the universe to guide you. It's not about sitting back passively and ignoring the universe. The flow is when you cooperate with the universe, you work with the universe by allowing the universe to unfold, the path to unfold, and you taking conscious steps to align with it. But there's very much this sense of serenity, meditation, stillness, relaxation, making you become very consciously aware intuitively of your path, or just feeling that you're moving forwards, the universe. In the previous reading, I talked about seeing ocean waves, golden waves of the ocean, and that's like the divine delivering you, carrying you along your path. When when we release, which is again easier said than done at times, when we release anxiety, we see more clearly. The clouds of illusion dissipate somewhat. This is the parting, the gateway opens for clarity and flow. And this is overall what I'm feeling. There's some sort of, and it could literally just last a day or two, because I'm not saying this is like a permanent thing, because the dappled light I'm seeing, there's times of shadow and times of light, and that's to be expected if you're going through any kind of adversity or challenges. But overall, I'm feeling over the next few days there's just a concentration of light and clarity, and the serenity is being able to have faith and trust in the divine and how things unfold, which overall is going to ground in that stability, that security, that another layer of safety that's coming from the divine, from the light, the safe sanctuary. What does Spirit need you to know right now? Overcoming obstacles, yeah, to confirm you can overcome anything. So yeah, someone has had this huge boulder on the road, so to speak, a huge obstacle, but they can overcome this. They can overcome anything, okay? They are like this chosen one who can take out this sword from the stone through connecting with the heart space. It's the heart. It's interesting. We had the peach tree, and this makes me think of a fuzzy peach as well. Like, everything is peachy. I'm telling you, this is that smooth, fuzzy feelings, warm, fuzzy feelings inside, nourishing feelings, serenity, that is going to lift you up over some sort of obstacle, so you can continue on in the flow state a little more easily. This isn't anything about pressuring yourselves to always be in the flow state and everything being easy. The last thing that you need is to pressure yourself by becoming spiritually perfect, in quotation marks, because it's never about that, and there's no such thing. Let's look at these cards. What does Spirit need you to know right now? Endless possibilities. Wow. I imagine her looking at light like a vessel of water which is glowing. Kind of features in Harry Potter, but I'm also seeing it as like in The Lord of the Rings. Like this big chalice, what's the word, like a big font full of water, like a huge ace of cups. To me, it's like looking into the heart. It's going to reflect back to you. It's going to show you the truth, the heart. Looking into this big ace of cups kind of thing is like looking into consciousness, looking into the universe, looking beyond confusion. Because in both The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, they look into that vessel of water to find clarity. What, interestingly, in Harry Potter, it's looking into memories, which is the past. In Lord of the Rings, it's looking into potential futures. So again, there's like that, the two hemispheres, the paradox, the past, the future, but it's being in the present moment, being the observer. That sweet spot in the middle. This is looking again into the water. It's like looking into a mirror, into a reflection, contemplating, seeing, someone seeing that there's so much more that's possible than their limiting thoughts. The obstacle they're overcoming, releasing, is some sort of limiting belief or thought that was creating a lot of anxiety. And they were sort of stuck within that somewhat, weighing them down. They feel as they may have been feeling as though there's no hope, or there's no like way over some sort of obstacle or something. But there's endless possibilities. This is the flow of love, the flow of life, the gateway. I'm seeing like water. It navigates, it works through, it finds its way through all kinds of, all manner of like obstacles. It's very adaptable. Something about someone being very adaptable, more adaptable, flexible than perhaps they realized. Maybe their soul is calling them to be more adaptable. It's naturally occurring if they're going through some sort of adversity. They're exercising aspects of themselves that were perhaps more dormant or unneeded, but it's like at the depths of their being, aspects of themselves are really being called into the forefront. So learning, they're acclimatizing, I'm hearing, they're learning, they're grounding into them like new skills, for want of a better word, new ways of being. This is create more self-mastery in the long run. Ears wide open. Yeah. I just imagined like a pin dropping. The quietest noise, the quietest sound of the universe. But you're alert and aware and listening out for it. So you hear it when others don't hear it, because there's so much noise in this world. There's so much noise in our minds. But I just saw and heard like the tiniest little pin dropping and you hearing it. I feel this is also your person is they have this heightened awareness of you as well. Could be definitely something to do with them listening. Their ears are wide open. They're listening to you. They're listening to the divine, very much so. Or they're being called to do that. There's definitely an avenue through which they can soak in messages and healing and light codes. But I heard I'm all ears when it comes to you as well. So this could be they're trying to gather intuitively the truth. They're trying to discern how you feel about them amidst illusions. They're sinking in, trying to concentrate on the truth, the intuition. And they're able to pick up so much. You and your person, it's incredible. Like, you're highly sensitive individuals. You have all of these antennas, so to speak, in your physical body, in the hairs on your head. You know, when people say their hairs stand on end, that's becoming alert. The hairs soaking in information subconsciously. So I'm seeing it on a physical level, psychological level, all of the senses, emotional, energetic, highly sensitive, open, receptive. Because I'm telling you, the veil is thin. A lot of information is coming in. someone's able to really tap into their intuition, their inner knowing so powerfully, and they're able to hold on to that truth. I feel with all of the grounding energy, they're grounding in the truth, and it's like they've reached some sort of way where they are able to decipher their own intuition, and it's like this aha moment. It's that relief, it's that sunny energy, that optimism, it's that yes, that inner knowing, and they know without a shadow of a doubt. And this is what they're gathering into themselves, this is what they're grounding into themselves, so that they can look back in any times of doubt in the future that may come up, will come up. They can return to that inner knowing, which they discern. Someone's discerned something, or will discern something so powerful within your bond, or within it, in some other obstacle, or both. Discerning the truth and being able to retain that inner knowing, and bringing that in, grounding it in for future reference. And this is what's powerfully allowing the path to open and be in the flow state, because you're no longer snagging on doubts so much. There's a overall just an inner knowing so you can proceed more easily, more in the flow, more in that warm fuzzy feeling, everything is peachy. What do you need to know from Spirit? Spirit of gratitude. I'm telling you, this immense consciousness, this is the crown chakra, open and receptive, receiving all of the magic in the air, the magic of the universe, the realization, those moments where we really stop, we look around, metaphorically and literally maybe, we're listening, being in the present moment and soaking it all in, and having so much gratitude, so much joy. Those moments where you just suddenly snap into really becoming consciously aware and remembering, oh my God, I'm like the luckiest person in the world, like to be experiencing this beyond the veil experience whilst in human form. Very strongly, powerfully connected with the higher self here. Just gratitude. Practicing gratitude is what fills up our aura. This is a powerful message as well. Making it a daily practice, even if it's just 5 minutes, that will make a whole world of difference. Focusing on what you're so happy about, what you're so grateful about. Concentrating on that, thinking on that, soaking it in, breathing it in. And this is what's filling your aura. It's going to fill both of your auras with so much high vibration and ecstasy, euphoria. Very life-changing. Consciously continuing the momentum of expansion and reaching higher levels of, or retaining, higher levels of vibration and consciousness, clarity. What does Spirit really need you to know right now? The land between. So interesting, that sweet spot between the two hemispheres of the brain, where you're in the present moment. You're not stuck in the past. You're not worrying about the future. You take each other to the present moment. And also, this is some sort of rest and recuperation, because I feel this is the divine masculine, okay? It's very much in this in-between, the land in between, two timelines. Their old self, that was the ending of that old chapter with the world card, and I said about the cycles coming to an end, and then there's the new chapter, the new beginning, where they're even more aligned with their true self, their soul. But they're in some sort of in-between stages. Again, the dappled light, which is the shadow and the sun. But there's some time for rest over the next few days. Rest, recuperation. This is going to bring in the energy to be able to naturally, with the flow of the universe taking you there, cross the bridge into the higher timeline. This is so wonderful, okay? This is also saying if you're in a physical separation, you are one. You access the higher dimensions, the garden of delights. You know, I'm taking that from the Rumi Oracle, but it's like that inner world, blissful inner world, heavenly inner world. You are there together. It's so incredible. There's so much closeness that you're going to have this opportunity to really feel together over the next few days. At the bottom of the deck we have 11 in perfect harmony. It's like the temperance, the angel pouring the love between your hearts so harmoniously. And I see you singing out like this joy, exuding very powerfully from your hearts. So I really hope that this reading has resonated with you. If it has, please let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye.